Recently, we spent a day in Cave City, Kentucky, where Mammoth Cave, as well as several other caves that are open to the public, are located, and a lot of other fun stuff. We stopped at Jesse James' riding stable and the Outlaw Cave first, and this is a still shot from fellow YouTubers Jim Murado's channel. He got a lot more of this Outlaw Cave tour than I did, so if you're interested in hearing about this history and the geology, I highly recommend checking his channel out, as well as for other content about Kentucky and surrounding areas. So we took that bus down to the cave. This is us in that little old school bus. It was so much fun, and we lucked out and got a private tour, which isn't the first time that has happened to me with a cave tour. And we had a tour guide named Mr. Stephen Cooper. He was the same tour guide that is in Jim Murado's video as well. He's been going here for 40 years, and he has so much knowledge under his belt. It was so much fun spending this time. Here is the outside of the cave. It used to be called Mushroom Cave because they grew mushrooms there, as well as several other caves. And this is the van that used to transport you to the cave tour. So when you first walk inside, you really get a feel for how there was a few movie scenes filmed here. It gets its name Outlaw Cave from the fact that Jesse James used it as a hideout, as well as several other criminals. But it is just super interesting to learn about the history of this place from the time it was a seabed to the time it was a hideout to a mine. And now a family has owned this place for decades, and there are other fun activities we'll talk about later on the same grounds. Next door is a place called Mammoth Valley Park, which is also full of fun activities. It used to be owned by the same family, but they sold that off a few years ago. But you could definitely spend the whole day between the two places, for sure. Even almost the whole day here with all the activities they have, all very reasonably priced. This cave tour was $9 a person. I haven't ever been on a cave tour that cheap before, I don't think. Maybe when I was in grade school. I have to praise Mr. Cooper once again for being the best tour guide ever. I've never had a bad cave tour guide. They're always so knowledgeable, but he really took the cake, and you could not ask for a better cave tour guide than Mr. Cooper at Outlaw Cave in Cave City, Kentucky.
We call popcorn, and this is caused when it's actually dry in the cave, except for the atmosphere. Then the atmosphere gets on the rock, draws out this calcium carbonate into this popcorn. Then when there is dripping water, the acidic water melts it right back down.
What a blessing it was to have a private tour with somebody like Mr. Cooper, who has been running around these grounds, exploring these caves for 40 plus years of his life, who knows so much. This man is a walking encyclopedia when it comes to this cave. The family who has owned this place for decades should be proud, and I'm sure they are proud, to have Mr. Cooper representing them and educating people about this beautiful, or one of the beautiful caves that they have on their property. And I'm very thankful that they choose to have it open to the public. They choose to do so at an affordable price. And this is what Kentucky is all about. There are still places where people care. Here is a cave horse. It is the head of the horse at first on the left, and then the rest of the body. Most caves I've been in, there are famous formations like this. Sometimes it's just the shadow that a formation casts, which is known to be the shape of something in particular. So what I was getting back to is Mr. Cooper taught us so much about the fossils. Like at one point there was a big fish on the ceiling of the cave, and root systems to this animal plant hybrid creature, which he said coral is what we have the closest to today of anything in relation to that. There's so many fascinating things, and when you can be a student of nature and learn and be in awe of all the wonders of nature, and have that love for nature and therefore God and the higher power that creates all of it and all of us in your heart, you might not be bulletproof, but you're definitely going to be more resilient to more of life's challenges. And this is what I feel like we've got when we're surrounded by the unbridled beauty of truly untouched nature here in Kentucky. And I know these caves have been mined, they've been stripped in certain ways. I'm not necessarily talking about the caves. When I say unbridled nature, I'm talking more about the forested hills and mountains, honestly. But we are so infinitely blessed to have all of it in the state. And this was such a nice little day trip for us. If you can make the trip yourself, if you're interested at all, there is Bowling Green a half an hour to the west. There's a Buc-ee's 15 minutes to the west, although I don't recommend that. We walked in and out, basically. And if you're the kind of person that likes places like Cave City and caves, I don't know if you're going to like Buc-ee's too much. But I felt like we had to go, right? Because it's like one of those things, like if you're driving by it, of course you have to go. It's Buc-ee's, right? Never again. Never. So look at this. That big rock right there is something that somebody brought back to the cave that he and his mom had taken from the cave and tried to sell on the side of the road. Well, they did sell rocks on the side of the road, but he felt like he should return it. So this is at the same place, the Jesse James Riding Stable in Outlaw Cave. This is such a nice little putt-putt. And I'm sorry, I forget exactly how much it was, but once again, very affordable. Like, oh my gosh, so affordable. I think we did the cave tour and this for like $30. And when you look at the view off this deck, I could spend a whole day here just sitting here looking at this. You can see the riding stables, and that is the path we took down to go to the cave in the school bus. So beautiful. And even though I checked the forecast 10 times, of course the storm started to roll in. It is just raining like mad here in Kentucky. I mentioned that in my last video. We've already gotten as much rain in 2025 as we did in 2024. And that was a month ago, so we'll probably get double the rain this year. So they've got the horse riding, the putt-putt golf, the cave tour. I believe on their website it said that they also do the old-timey Western photos here. It is such a nice little gift shop. They've got some really cute, unique gifts and a tiny little arcade in there too. It really is a cozy place. All of Cave City feels like it's stuck back in time in a good way. It's rather affordable. And if you are interested in nature, in caving, I can't recommend this enough as a destination for your next vacation. You could spend a day, you could spend a week here. There are a dozen caves around here you could explore. So I really appreciate you. If you watched to the end, it helps so much. And I hope you all are having a great week. Take care. Love you. Bye.